What's up? Welcome back to the channel. James here, and today we're going to be talking about how you can collect 2 times more cash on your sales calls when you're enrolling new high-ticket coaching clients. This video is for you if you are a high-ticket coaching business owner, you run an offer. Of course, this could technically be relevant if you're a sales rep as well, but this channel is mainly for coaches who are making money with their offer, who want to scale and make way more money even faster. That's what this channel is all about, and this video is really just quite tactical about how you can collect more cash for a myriad of reasons, and I think you're going to like it. Now, before we dive into it, really quickly, just TLDR credibility check. Why should I give a shit what James has to say? Well, firstly, I'm a real coach. I'm not a coaches guy who just regurgitates shit from a mastermind I learned about. No, like I run my own $250,000 per month coaching business in a completely different niche. And on this channel, all I do is I work with real coaches who have their own offers, who are actually scaling, and I teach you what's working for me so you can apply it to your own offer, make a ton more money, change a bunch more lives. It really is as simple as that. Now, is he real? There's your standard photos and screenshots and shit like that. Let's move on. Why should you care about getting more cash up front as opposed to doing a bunch of payment plans? Well, there's a few different reasons. Number one, when you get more cash up front, it means you get a higher return on ad spend. And when you have more return on ad spend, it means you have more money you can throw back into ads so you can grow faster, you can scale faster, as simple as that. It's very hard to scale if every single client you're getting in is paying over 3 months, 10 months, 12 months, whatever it may be. Secondly, your sales reps are happier, they're more excited, they're more energetic because when they have higher cash collected, they feel like the Don. They also get more comms, which means they make more money, means they're more excited, and they keep pushing harder and harder and harder. A deflated sales rep can oftentimes come from, hey, I closed somebody, but because I did a 12-month payment plan, I'm making $30. You know, it's not fun. No one wants to do that. Number 3, less payment chasing. Nobody likes to chase payments. And number 4, we all know this, the biggest dickhead clients you're going to get are the ones who pay the least. Every single time, the ones who pay the most upfront, usually the least headaches, like they almost just self-sufficient. The ones who do payment plans and they more or less stretch it out, usually a sign they're going to be a bit of an annoying client. Just throwing that out there. So more cash collected is a big deal, and it's really, really important. But the issue that most coaching businesses and offer owners deal with is that a lot of their clients come through on payment plans, which means that they run into a myriad of issues. So how can we fix that? Here's a bunch of strategies. Some you may have heard about before, but a lot of really ninja shit that we're going to be talking about here that will definitely get you more cash up front. So goes without saying, number 1, don't mention payment plans immediately. So many people that I review sales calls for, I look at, and go ahead and they say the price is $5K, or it's 2 payments of $2,500, or it's 16 payments of $300, or you can just do $1 a day. They almost like just go through the entire downsell menu before the prospects even said anything. And as a result, they're going to go for the lowest payment plan. Of course they are. They're going to go, yeah, cool, the payment plan sounds great. Why? Because it just means they don't have to pay as much money up front. We don't want to do that. You talk about the price, it's $5K. Simple as that, right? And whether you drop the price before the pitch or after the pitch or whatever it may be, just say the price. If they need a payment plan, they'll ask for it. And if they do ask for a payment plan, I'm going to touch on what you do to not give them a payment plan, while also giving payment plans people who actually genuinely need it. Because sometimes people do. But don't mention payment plan immediately, otherwise you're never going to get any pips. Number 2 is tie down uncertainty twice prior to price drop. What does that mean? It's very simple. Before we go and mention the price, we want to make them commit to saying that they believe this program is what they need. It ticks their little boxes, it's going to get them where they want to go, so that way the price doesn't feel like as much of a sting. Versus, if they just listen to what the program is about and they hear a price tag, then we focus on the price tag. But if you get them to commit that this program is what they need, and clear up any uncertainty around it before you get to price, it's a hell of a lot easier to get the piff. So this is something I got from Gordon/Temple Naylor. And the way it goes is this. Most people, when you do a sales call, usually goes discovery, pitch, and then there's going to be the price drop, right? Typically. Go through, ask them a bunch of questions, go through how the program works, then you go to the price drop, and then you either enroll, objection handle for 3 hours, or whatever it may be. The temp check, which what we kind of do in between, is basically something along the lines of like, cool, do you have any other questions around this part of the program? No, beautiful. So that's how the program works. And hey, look, just for clarity's sake, before we go into next steps, I'm somebody where if I'm going to come in and work with a client, like I'm all in, and I want to make sure that you feel good about this as well. If you don't feel like this is going to get you where you want to go, there's no point in us doing this thing. So just so that I'm on the same page, on a scale of like 1 to 10, 1 being like, I hate this guy could definitely not help me, I wish I never got on the phone in the first place, and 10 being like, you know what, I feel like this could actually get me where I want to go. Where do you feel like you fall exactly in terms of certainty? And you can be honest. Right? And then what will happen is, it's from Cole Gordon. And they'll give you a 8, right? You say 8, that's not bad. Well, why not like a 2? And a little giggle. And then they'll tell you, oh, because the program's great and it's this and it's that. You may say, well, okay, and what do you feel like is stopping you from being a 10? Right? And then if you get an answer where it's like, oh, I just need to get started, like, oh, I've never fully known until I, try it. They're like, cool, okay, cool. They're clearly clean. They're clearly keen. But if they go, oh, I just like, I don't know how much it's going to cost. I'm a bit worried about, like, will it work for me? Like, I've been scammed in the past. And then you usually find there what you need to handle before you go to price. Because what I want to do is I don't want to go into price until I've kind of got the tie and they're like, no, this is what I need. And so I might touch on, oh, you've been scammed in the past. Based on what you've seen here, I hope you, don't feel like we're going to scam you. Oh, no, of course not. No. Like, do you feel like you've seen enough proof that this is going to work for you and that we're not going to take your money from run off to Mexico? Like, no, of course not. Say, all right, cool. So what are your main concerns around the program, just so I can touch them with you? And they'll go through your questions. You handle them all. Then you go, cool. So I guess now on a scale of 1 to 10, are we feeling close to that 10 or are we going back to like a 4? No, 100% 10. Cool. Why? Tell them. Great. So that's like the temp check. And then we do another tie down. So it's like a second tie down in a way. This is from Temple. And Temple Naylor is a great sales trainer, by the way. He taught me that basically if you do a tie down or a temp check and then you do it again 2 times in a row, it's very hard for people to lie to you. They'll kind of like fluff you off first time. The second time, it's really hard for somebody to lie. So for example, if you say, scale 1 to 10, they say 8, cool, 1 out like a 10. So 1 out of 2, oh, this program's great. 1 out of 10, oh, because I haven't started yet. Cool. So just to be clear, you're 100% keen on this, you feel like this can get you where you want to go, and there's no other concerns you have? If they genuinely don't have any concerns, they go like, no, 100%, like this is what I needed. Great, you can move on. But if they go, yeah, no, but also like, and then they'll give you something else, right? So they say, yeah, I'm feeling good about it. You say, cool. So you're feeling good, ready to rock and roll, no dramas at all, no concerns. Well, and then they give you something else. The bottom line I'm trying to get to is, you just want to clear that stuff off the rip, and then from there, you want to ask again. And then what will happen is if there's anything underlying, they'll tell you. If there isn't, they'll just move forward. Because people can't really lie to you twice. In the same way that if you get an objection and they say, oh, I just want to, I just don't have the money, right? And you say, all right, cool. Well, money aside, is there anything else stopping you from being certain that this will actually get you where you want to go and you want to do it? And they say, no, it's just the money. You say, all right, cool. So just to be 100% clear, like money aside, there's nothing stopping you from being like, yep, I'm all in, James. We're ready to rock and roll. We start making money together. No, it's the money, but also, and then it comes out again, right? That's the whole idea. So tying down the certainty before you get the price drop makes the price drop like way less painful. The third thing, and this is really one of the biggest things I got from one of my old sales reps, and I thought it was genius, and I've like never looked back on it ever since. So basically, we're at a point now where everyone is so conditioned to think that payment plans are normal, right? You go on and you say, oh, it's 5K. And they go, great, do you have any payment plans? It's almost like everyone just knows payment plans exist. And as a result, they will oftentimes ask when they don't necessarily need it. What's a payment plan for? It's for somebody who can't pay, or it doesn't make sense for them to spend every dollar in their bank account and leave it with nothing to pay the rent with, right? That's what payment plans are for. But a lot of people have the money to do it, but they do it because they're like a little bit nervous or they just can. And so what we do is if somebody asks for a payment plan, usually we'll ask a question on the lines of like, well, what's your sort of reasoning for one of your payment plans, just out of curiosity? And they'll say, oh, I just like to break it up. And you can kind of tell if they go, oh, well, I don't really have $5,000 at the moment. I don't have it. Like I don't have $5,000 to give you, but I really want to do it. In that case, it makes sense. Cool. So not having the money aside, you're 100% in. Yes, beautiful, great. Why do you feel this will help you? Cool. So if we were to break it up, would that help you? Yes. And you go down plan. That's fine, right? But oftentimes you'll say and they go, oh, I just want I just don't really like paying things up front, blah blah. And then you go, all right, cool. Well, look, the reason why I have payment plans is usually for people who are unemployed, like they have no money to their name, like they're so desperate to make this thing work, but they like quite literally don't really have much money at all. But I know that like that's not you, right? They go, no, it's not me. It's like, all right, cool. You have the money to afford it, right? And I'm almost assuming it. And if they don't have it, they'll tell me like, no, I don't. They're like, yeah, I do, of course I do. And then you say, great. And that brings you to the next one. As a coach, can I tell you what I think you should do? They say, what do you think I should do? I'm like, dude, I think you should pay in full. And then what happens is one of two things. They'll either go, yeah, all right, yeah. Right? I thought I'd ask, They either go that route, or they go, why? And you go, well, as simple as that, man. Like, do you think that my best clients come from the people who can afford it, but they decide to break it up and not go all in? Or do you think that the best results come from my clients who go all in, even if it makes them a little bit uncomfortable, but they know, holy shit, I've just spent $5,000, I need to make this thing work. Who do you think gets better results? All those people. Why? Oh, because they know they have to do the work, they go all in, like there's a lot of sting to it. Exactly. And so I'll be doing you a disservice as a coach by letting you in for a fraction because you're not going to get the sting. You're not going to be fully committed, right? And bear in mind, I'm going to be way less committed to you as well, to be fair, because you haven't paid in full, right? I want to make sure that I know that you're all in as well, so that I can be all in. And I'll be doing you a disservice by just letting you in for payment plans because to make you feel comfortable. Growth isn't comfortable. It's uncomfortable. You and I both know that. The way that we get big results in the gym is by getting uncomfortable. The way that you get great results in a business is by getting uncomfortable. And so for you as a coach, I'm going to tell you that the best thing you can do right now is painful, rip the band-aid off, let's send it together, and then let's actually get to work and actually start getting XYZ result you mentioned. Sound like a plan? And that will 90% of the time clear it, right? And so if someone needs a payment plan, just give them a payment plan. If they legitimately can't afford it, give them a payment plan. If somebody asks for a payment plan, do that. And then what will happen is they'll either go, yeah, right, let's do it. Number two, they'll go, oh, just want to think about it. There might be some uncertainty behind it. So you handle that objection, then go back for the PIF. Or number three, they go, no, I really want to break it up. And I really want to do it. Can I do half now? And they're in a buying state and you don't want to interrupt it too much. And you're like, well, I should probably collect some cash. So what you do is you might position 2 base. So cool, man, why don't we just do sort of half now, get you in for half, and then 30 days from now we'll do the other half, like your normal payment plan. And say, yep, sounds good. And then we go into the cheerleader strategy. And the cheerleader strategy looks like this. This is from Matt Ryder. I call it the cheerleader strategy. I don't know what he calls it, but it was genius. I've used it ever since. So you've done the coach frame. they're kind of like, you haven't fully got them on it. And you can basically get them on like a 2-pay, for example, if you know they can afford it, right? A lot of the times that fear and those nerves that come up right before the payment is really like the pinnacle. And then as soon as they pay, they're like, we've all been there. We pay for a program, like, all right, it's done. I'm in. And so what we do is we don't want to lose all the momentum we built during the call. So you say you get the half. They pay, register, you congratulate them. Man, I'm so excited for you. Start future pay. I'm so excited for you to get this goal. So excited for you this, so excited for that. Then you say, how you feeling? I'm feeling good. Excited, nervous, bit of both. Yeah, 100% feeling a bit nervous, bit excited. But I'm glad I did. It's like, good. It's a bit of a weight off your shoulders, hey. The hardest thing you're going to do is actually just taking that first step. Do you feel a lot better now? Beautiful. Yeah, you excited? Cool. It's not as scary as you thought, was it, is it? No. Hey, Matt, before you go into your onboarding stuff, how I mentioned before that I think the best thing for you to do is pay in full? Do you know why I say that? Well, yeah, because it means I'm most committed, blah, blah, blah. I say, yeah, 100%. All that stuff is really, really bad. But also, I know that the scariest thing is that first step of saying, yes, I've done it. Or I'm going to jump in. Whether you do half up front, you do a third up front, you do it all up front. The scariest part, and the thing you were probably a little bit nervous about before, is just actually saying, fuck it, I'm going to give it a go. But now you've done it, man. Like, you put half down. We're all in. So why don't we go all in? Why don't we just do the rest? Rip the rest of the bandit off. Let's just go all in, man. I want to see you get uncomfortable. I want to see you feel the fire under your seat and actually do this thing, right? If you go all in with me, I'll add in XYZ bonus and I'll be all in with you even more so. Why don't we just go all in, bro? Something like that, right? And then what will happen is one of two things. They'll either go, all right, yeah, let's do it. And then it's so easy to just be like, cool, run the card again, do the PF, done. Because you're reframing what it is. Hardest thing you've already done, just been nervous, now let's just go all in, right? It's an amazing follow-up to the coach frame. On the flip side, if they go, oh, and you get that kind of like nerve reaction, like, oh, you can kind of see they're on the edge. This is a cheerleader strategy. Say the client's name is Ian. You just go, Ian, 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 Ian. And they go, all right, I'll do it. You're like, my man, you hype him up. And it's so stupid. It's something like Matt Ryder do, but it's so genius. Because all you're doing is again, you're telling them something that's going to help them, which is paying it full. But then you're being their cheerleader, like, bro, I'm here to support you. I'm here to encourage you this because in their best interest, it's in their best interest the same way it is for you, right? And that's assuming they have the money to do so. And I swear, 90% of the time with that one, I go, all right, right? Or can I do an extra, like, I go half of the rest down, like half in a week when I get paid? Cool, we'll do the rest of that half now and do the rest then. No dramas at all. I'll still give you the bonus. No dramas at all. The only caveat to it being is if you do like, Ian, and you see they're not vibing with it, right? So those things where it's like, Ian. Oh, I'm just kidding. The most important thing is I want you to know that if we're doing this, I want you to be all in. So even if you don't pay in full right now, I want you to know that I'm on your side, a bit of a cheerleader, if you will. But if you are going through everything and you are making money faster than you thought, I'll ask you to maybe pay it off a little bit quicker. Is that fine with you? I say, yeah, 100%. Boom, move on, right? It was like a little bit of jiu-jitsu, right? Just move on. But if you see in their face and you can read them and you know that it's not really landing, then just move on. But if you know, you're like, oh, it's hammer it with a cheerleader, right? Is genius. So what have we talked about? We talked about don't reveal the price up front. We've talked about how we want to make sure they're certain before you go to price. From there, if they ask for a payment plan, we want to ask for why. If they legitimately don't have the money, go for a payment plan, don't be a dick. If they do have the money, you reframe it as for people who are basically unemployed or don't have any money to their name but they're really desperate. And I know that's not you, right? You're 100%. You have the money? Yeah, beautiful. You do that. Then from there, say, can I tell you what I tell you to do as a coach? Say, what's that? I tell you to pay in full for these reasons. If they say, yep, I'll do it, boom, get the PIF. If they say, no, they fight back on it, don't lose momentum, get them in for like a 2-pay or a 3-pay, whatever it is. Then you can use a cheerleader strategy, hype them up, future pace them, celebrate the fact they've taken the leap, then say, let's go all in, cheerleader strategy, get them across the line, boom, done. And if it's not working, don't burn the new client you just got. Just casually, I'm just kidding. We'll go ahead and we'll get you making money and you can pay the rest back as you go. Boom, done. Easy. That's basically the process. But I want to add in one more, which is kind of like a bonus. And for some people, work really well. Some people wouldn't recommend it. It really depends on who you are. And if you want to kind of chat more about the stuff, what would work best for your offer when it comes to anything from getting clients to running ads to your sales process to your back end to your upsells, whatever it is, there is a link in the description below to book in a one-on-one call with me to basically find out more about how I can help you. I have a one-on-one coaching program, Scale Boardroom, where I do all the stuff with you. And look, we can go through a bunch of different things. Even on that call, we can go through stuff like would I recommend this? What kind of funnels you should be using? All the different things that go into scaling coaching business. If you want to find out more, book a call. But for some of my clients and for me in my main business, we actually have on our confirmation page that they go through before their sales call, we go through exactly how much we charge. Simple as that. We tell them the price before they even show up. It makes it so much easier. And we tell them it's $2,500, it's $5,000, whatever it is. We tell them the price beforehand. So that way they know they can come to the call and they know that price in their head, so they're comfortable with it. Half the time people want a payment plan because they hear, oh fuck, 10 grand, what? And they weren't expecting it. Maybe they thought it was 3 grand. So then they're mentally okay with 3 grand, but they hear 10 grand, they're like, oh, can I do like a 4 pay? You know, because mentally they just don't want to pay it up front because they got that sticker shock. But if you tell them the price up front, well, then they come to the call expecting it. And so this is something that means that we get way more pips because people are already aware of what our pricing is. But on the flip side, this is something that's really, really key. In the video where I talk about it, is I say, what do we charge for? It's $2,500. I believe in being transparent. I hate those calls you jump on, you don't know how much it costs. It's $2,500, gets you this, gets you this, gets you this, gets you this. And then what I do is I don't want to have no shows, people who don't have the full amount. So I do is, and I say, hey, listen, if you're drastically tight on funds, or you're like, I love that, this sounds amazing, but like, I'm recently out of a job, whatever it is, you have some funds put aside, but you don't have the whole amount. We do have payment plans for select people, depending on where they're at financially. And if it's something where it's completely desolate and you need a payment plan, we're happy to accommodate. So no show your call, don't cancel your call. We can still go through those options on the call. I say that, and it's almost the same thing as what I mentioned earlier. Somebody who has the money, they hear that, and they almost like self-exclude themselves, and they go, it's $2,500. Right? Versus if said it's $2,500, or you can split into a few payments. They go, payments, let's go, you know? And that's what happens there. And so tell them the price prior, especially if you're okay with you're okay with doing that. B2B works really, really well. For some B2C, some BizOps works really well. It depends on your confidence, depends how much proof you have to back it up. So if you tell them the price, you have a bunch of assets to really show people that your program is a great move for them, probably about idea to do it, especially if you're early stages. But if you have a lot of proof, a lot of reviews, a lot of client interviews, that backs it up. So they go, oh, I should probably at least check it out. You know, but that's the sixth thing I'll talk about as a bonus. But super short, simple, hyper profitable video for you today. Apply it, thank me later. You can send this to your sales reps if you have a sales team. Give it to your sales reps. This stuff absolutely crushes. And look, if you're new here, I run a private program called the Scaling Boardroom. Just like I said, work with high ticket coaches one-on-one to help them scale to over 100 grand a month and beyond. Just by sharing what actually works right now as a coach who does it himself. Like you saw in this video, these aren't fancy mastermind. These are just like, hey, here's what I do. Here's the ads that I run. Here's the things that I say. Here's how we collect more cash. All these different things that come into play. You're working one-on-one with me, scaling your offer, making a fuck ton more money, changing a bunch more lives. If you want to find out more, you can go ahead and click the link below, book a time on my calendar. I'd love to chat, see if it can be a good fit for you. And even if I can't, even if you jump in, if I can't get you an ROI in your first month with my swipe and deploy, do this, make money strategies, just like this, one of like 100, right? I'll eat a shoe as an apology for you. I'm that confident. I know I can help you. But welcome to the channel. So many bangers coming your way. We're going to have a big 2026 here. And look, if there's anything you would like to learn more about, see more about, or make some videos covering, comment below what you'd like to see, and I'm happy to cover them. But for now, use this, swipe it, deploy it, make a bunch more money, collect a bunch more cash, scale your ads even faster. And hey, if you want to make even more money, book a call, and I'd love to have a chat with you. For now, peace.